we today, boys and girls? How are we doing? Precious, beautiful souls, how are we today? Let me get this angle going right and like chopped off. I think better now. All right, so today we're talking about dating during the quarantine. Oh my God. Online dating. Tips that you can use effective immediately. What's up, Charlotte? What's up, Dolores? Happy to see you girls come on the Facebook Live. If you're catching me on YouTube, comment below with the city and state or country that you are coming from. How did you find me? Where are you from? I want to know about you, because dating online is a doozy. Doesn't matter where you're from. I get people from all over the world, the same complaints, the same challenges, the same BS. So today I'm hopeful that I'm going to share, some helpful tips and tricks and tools and things that you can do, put in play immediately, so that you could get your head wrapped around how to date during the quarantine. So you guys are, part of the world, obviously. We're in this lockdown situation. A lot of people are lonely. They want to have fun. They want to get to know other people. Connection is a basic need. We all want to feel connected to other people. Totally normal to want to feel like, I want to reach out to people. I want to know some other people other than myself and, your 4 rooms or whatever, however way you're living. So I get people all the time asking me questions about how do you date during the quarantine? Like, what do you even do? So I'm like, well, what are you doing? So somebody says to me, oh, I'm on Bumble. I'm on the Bumble. Okay, so you're on the Bumble, and what happens on the Bumble? Well, I strike up a conversation with somebody, and then, we go back and forth, and it's cool, and then, nothing really happens. So I'm like, okay, well, the next step would be to have a one-on-one conversation where you can actually see each other, maybe a Zoom call, Skype, WhatsApp, whatever tool. I don't know if on Bumble they allow you to do video from within the app. I don't know if they have that capability. It would be cool if they rolled that out, but I don't know. So the key is understanding when to make that suggestion to have that phone chat, visual back and forth date, if you will, a phone date, video date. And this is popular now. This is the way people are dating now. They're meeting each other on these apps, and then all of a sudden, boom, they start to have conversation inside of a video situation. Now, there are certain things that you don't want to do. I'll give you some don'ts, things not to do when you're doing these video calls. You want to, don't want to be on it too long. You don't want to be there for, 2 hours, even an hour. You want to keep them wanting more. You want to just share enough, a little bit, and get out of there. You're in and out of there. Half hour, 15 minutes even. 15 minutes, see if you like it, and then go another 15, and then bye-bye. We'll talk again tomorrow. It's a little bit tricky now because when you are in a quarantine situation, it's not like you can say, okay, I met you online, we went into a phone date situation, it was cool, I saw you in person, it was great, and you look like your pictures on the dating app, so that checks out, everything looks normal. So let's go to dinner, let's grab some food. You can't really do that now because of this whole mental programming of crazy where we cannot be within 6 feet of one another. Now, I have had people tell me that they've done social distance dating. Social distance dating, where they literally went and got food and they did the entire thing socially distant. They stayed within 6 feet of one another. Amazing. They ate, and then they went to the park, and they where they live, you're allowed to be at a park, and they walked around together, got to know each other. I suppose that's a good way to get an energy read of people by doing that. But it is very difficult, so you're not alone in thinking that, right? It's very challenging times to be dating during the quarantine. But that doesn't mean that you can't get to know people and you can't get to, like, you know, have some fun and meet people. Now, again, another thing that you want to avoid doing is going down the path of this, like, sexual thing on video with, like, a complete stranger. I mean, I get it. You know, I people have needs, I suppose, but you don't really want to engage in that. It's a little, you know, a little much. People are a little crazy, especially now. So, you know, you want to handle yourself accordingly. But I feel like people get really confused about what to talk about when they get into this video kind of thing. And even before we get into the conversation of what to talk about, we need to get clear on, like, the background. Like, when you do these calls, do it seated from a place that's comfortable. And a lot of people are making the mistake where they're just like, it's like an afterthought. Like, they're doing things around their place. I know, you're like, don't touch your face. It's okay, I washed my hands. I just have, like, a Taz fuzz in my eye. Anyway, they're, like, going from room to room. They're holding their phone. They're going here. They're going there. They're going all around their house. Like, stay put and focus. This is a time for focus. You want to stay put and focus on the other person. Right? This isn't the time where you're like, oh, bear with me, I have laundry. Like, no. This is phone date. All attention on the person. If you have other stuff going on, fine, but time it out so that you're focused on the other person. So I don't know how many people out there are single and they're doing the phone date. I don't know how that's working out for you. But, you know, these are the questions that I'm getting. Like, what do I do? Like, what should I even wear? So that was another one. What do I wear? Because a lot of people are in the quarantine and they're looking something like this, right? I mean, I don't know where you live, but I was outside laying out in the sun. I had a few sessions in the morning, and then I was like, all right, I want to get some tan. And then I have sessions at night, and I have this Facebook Live and the whole thing. So I look like this. And, you know, you're in this quarantine kind of groove where you're not made up every day. You're not looking your best always. But it's actually quite nice because it gives people a look at what you're really about. So it's actually a good thing. And for the ladies out there, I will tell you that men like that. They like you low key. Men are really telling me, they're giving me a lot of information. They're saying, you know, I really like dating during quarantine because these girls are all laid back and comfy. Some of them, you know, they'll come on, they look presentable, but they're not full-blown dress, heels, the whole scene, the whole show. They're very chill, they're laid back, you know, they're wearing, you know, comfy shirt, t-shirt, whatever, light makeup. And it's really forcing people to lead with their personality and lead with their soul as opposed to what they look like and how to, like, impress somebody. So it's been a really good thing in that regard where now people are really connecting on a more soulful kind of level. So what are certain questions that you want to ask them when you get them on your video call? So this is what Dating with Power and Purpose is all about. This is a one-on-one program that I do with people. It's awesome. You get to really learn about what it is that you want for your own life, what you want for a partner, given what you want for you, who's the right partner for you, right? You get to figure that out. And more importantly, you get to understand what do you need to ask people to determine if they are right for you. And what do you need to pay attention to and be mindful of when you are around them. And it helps people to boost their confidence if they have confidence issues when they're dating, if they just kind of get too wrapped up in their heads, they're too in their heads, they overthink, we handle that. So any kind of like hang up that you have or where you get tripped up in dating, some people have very loose boundaries and they're finding that the quarantine and that way of dating is really helping them create boundaries just simply because they can't, you know, go and be with somebody physically because there's, you know, the quarantine. So it's been really good. It's been helping people, but when we coach one-on-one, whatever issues, patterns, things that you have that come up over and over, you're finally able to handle them so that you can thrive and you can date with power and purpose and clarity and know exactly what you're doing and feel like good about it, not worried, not tripped up. That being said, people have told me that they get a little stuck when they are on these calls and they don't really know what to ask a person. And they're very not clear on what it is that they want. When you're struggling for conversation, it's because you're not clear about what you want. When you're clear about what you want, you know what questions to ask. I did a blog, if you want to check it out, at lovequestcoaching.com. There's a blog in the blog section of my website. 20 great questions to ask on a date, and they're awesome because they are very open-ended. They're very light, but they're very telling. It really inspires conversation in people. And there's a few neuro-linguistic programming techniques that I incorporated into the questions that helps you put someone in another state of mind, so that they feel comfortable around you and they feel like they want to open up to you. They feel a connection to you. So you can check that out over at lovequestcoaching.com. And the other thing that I have over at lovequestcoaching.com, my website, is a free love life assessment, which you can just go over there and fill that out. The more you tell me, the more I can come back with insights and information that can help you. So you can go check that out. And then finally, the other thing that I have there are these really nice free audio downloads. One is about dating with power and purpose, I believe, or my no BS guide to dating online. That's one that would be pertinent for this. So you could go over there and grab that for free. Lots of free stuff. And when you grab these things for free, you're automatically included in my weekly Love Blast, which is free weekly micro coaching right to your email. So I give you journal prompts, I give you something to think about for the week that will set your mind in a different perspective and help you kind of dig into some stuff that might be going on with you. So people love it. Love Blast every week. But getting back to this thing about dating during the quarantine, I'm actually coaching somebody tonight. She's, I believe, 40, and she was in a relationship for a while and then got out of it, and now she's ready to start up dating again, but can't really figure out how am I going to date during this quarantine. And the thing is, this is the time where it's perfect to get your mind wrapped around what it is that you're really looking for. This is not a time to squander this quarantine. I was coaching a woman last night, also just turned 40, and her thing was more about life coaching. So she was in a place where she has this pattern professionally in her life where she starts things. She's very passionate about different projects, but she doesn't finish anything. So she doesn't know what that's about, and she wants to really get to the root of what's going on with that so that she can finally execute fully on something that she really wants to do, figure out what that even is. She's had a few good strings in her career, and now she's kind of but it never really stuck. So she wanted to work on that. So this is the time during this quarantine where it's really, really good to dig in on yourself and work on yourself. And they have online courses. They have coaches like me. I mean, maybe I'm not your coach, but there are others out there. It's a really good time to handle whatever it is that's been tripping you up, whatever it is that you think gets in your way. I had a gentleman yesterday reach out to me after seeing yesterday's Facebook Live. He wanted to know about various things about dating, really related to confidence, and trying to figure out how to tell if a woman is still connected to her ex, because apparently he attracts women who aren't quite over their ex, and he's had situations where he starts dating them, things go good, and then all of a sudden around the second month she decides that she wants to go back to her ex. So this is a pattern that he's finding, and he wants to break that pattern. So this is the time where you can do the work to understand why you have these patterns in the first place, and then how to handle them. So when you're finally going online and you're in the quarantine and you're dating people, You know what to ask, you know what to say, you know what you're looking for, and you have clarity. Because when you're unclear, you're just like floating around like a feather in the breeze. You're not going to know, you're just going to kind of take whatever comes. But when you're clear and you know what you want and you know what you're looking for, you can ask certain specific questions, not on like an interview level, but just like open-ended, but you know what to listen for so that you can tell if they're for you or not. And also, finally, dating during the quarantine, like keep it light and fun. Keep it light and fun. This is a great opportunity for some nice courtship with people because you're forced to have a boundary, like I said earlier, so you can really have a good time getting to know a person for who they are, just for the person that you see on the screen across from you, what they like, what they're into. It brings it back to when we were like in, junior high school, and you're just starting to get to know about other people on that like romantic level, or high school and whatever, and you're just kind of like getting to know them and taking it slow before like the sex gets in the way and adds all kinds of expectations. You're actually able now to take some time to get to know the person. And somebody actually had an interesting question for me. They said, how can you tell if somebody is interested in you, or are they just lonely and bored and they want to have like a quarantine buddy, someone to get through the quarantine with, and then once this thing is over, it fizzles out and you get very connected and you get very emotionally involved with people. So that was a fantastic question. And I said, I would imagine that it would be no different than dating for real. You're in this quarantine thing, you're seeing one another, maybe you're chatting, once a day, people start to bond, they start to connect, and it's almost like a lifeline. It becomes kind of like, you're my person to help me through this quarantine. And just got to be really, really careful that you're not clinging to people. Have fun with it, have a good time. I actually had this girl tell me that she arranged, and I was thinking of doing this, I was considering doing this, so if like you're watching this and this is something that you would want to do, fill in below, give me like your detail, or hit me up at lovequestcoaching.com, because I was considering having a Zoom party, like a mixer, like a Zoom online mixer of different singles, and just kind of put everyone in the Zoom, and like you can bring cocktails, you can have music, like we'll have a good time, but we'll talk about like other things about dating, we'll play games, 2 truths, 1 lie, like we can have a good time with this. So I was kind of brainstorming how we can like have people come together on a Zoom call. So if you're into that, definitely hit me up at lovequestcoaching.com. And this can happen anywhere. You could be from anywhere. People are doing a lot of long distance stuff too, getting a lot of people meeting each other and online, and then through Facebook or through Instagram or TikTok even, and there's a lot of long distance stuff happening too at this time. So just be very mindful of it. We're in really extreme circumstances right now. We're in very heightened emotion right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of people just not knowing what's up. And, it's very easy for us to get codependent and clingy to somebody else. So you want to avoid that when you're dating online. Just have a fun time with it. Basic questions. What do I wear on a call? Wear whatever you feel comfortable in. I wouldn't go too full on sexy with it. It's a little ridiculous. With that, you're going to have guys being like, oh, put on a bikini, or oh, put on lingerie or whatever. Like, that's not what this is about. You're going to have a lot of thirsty people out there. Ladies, it's up to you to keep the boundary, keep it respectful. Guys, like, seriously, like, come on, be gentlemen. And have fun with it. Have fun with it. This isn't, you might meet somebody amazing. You might meet somebody that's like, my God, we met during the quarantine and like we talked all the time and we really got to know each other. We formed a really good bond and friendship. There was a lot of respect. And then we finally got to meet in person. And then it was like amazing, and then from there it blossoms. So this is going to be a really cool time for a lot of people. A lot of romantic stories are going to come out of this, I'm pretty sure. But you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. You have to have a strategy. You have to know exactly what you want for your own life, what you want with someone else. And based on that, the kind of questions that you need to ask and the kind of things that you need to be listening for, so that you can determine, is this person just like wasting my time, or is this really somebody that something can happen with? So that being said, do you guys have any questions for me? Put them down below. I'm Lisa the Love Coach. You can find me everywhere at Lisa the Love Coach. You could just, find me on Instagram at Lisa the Love Coach, TikTok at Lisa the Love Coach, Facebook, I'm just Lisa Concepcion. You can find me a bunch of ways. Just, Google me. I'm everywhere. And I'm always here to help you out with any questions that you have. I am offering a 90-minute quarantine special one-on-one coaching session for the people out there who want to use this time, quarantine time, to just handle some kind of aspect in their life, whether it's professional, personal, romance, getting over a breakup, dealing with the ex that's blowing up your phone every minute, trying to, slither their way back in. Whatever the thing is, whatever you're going through, I'm offering a 90-minute one-on-one power session through this. And you can get information by just hitting me up on a DM or finding me at lovequestcoaching.com. So I'm happy to help you out. Happy dating, happy quarantining. Have a good time with this. Make the best of it. It will all be over soon, I promise. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.